Once again, it's a privilege to be welcome into your homes. Today we are reading from Mark chapter 11, verse 27 to 33. Jesus and his disciples returned once more to Jerusalem. As he was walking in the temple area, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders approached him and said to him, "By what authority are you doing these things? Or who gave you this authority to do them?" Jesus said to them, "I shall ask you one question. Answer me, and I'll tell you by what authority I do these things. Was John's baptism of heavenly or human origin? Answer me." They discussed this among themselves and said, "If you say of heavenly origin, he will say, then why did you not believe him? But shall we say of human origin?" They feared the crowd, for they all thought John really was a prophet. So they said to Jesus in reply, "We do not know." Then Jesus said to them, "Neither shall I tell you by what authority I do these things." After Jesus had entered the temple in Jerusalem and drove out those who were selling and buying there, the religious leaders of the time approached Jesus and asked him, "Who gave you authority to do these things?" It was a good question, but they would have been open to answer that Jesus could have given them. Jesus did what he did on God's authority. He said what he said on God's authority. It was God who was acting and speaking through Jesus. Because the religious leaders could not have accepted this, Jesus did not answer their question. Instead, he asked them a question of his own. John's baptism, did it come from heaven or from earth? In other words, was John's authority for acting human or divine? The correct answer to that question was that John's authority was from heaven. It was divine. He was authorized by God to prepare the way for the Lord. Yet, John pointed to Jesus as the more powerful one, as the more authoritative one. That is why we venerate John, but we worship Jesus. We take Jesus as our supreme authority, our Lord. Dear friends, we rejoice to have such an authority figure, one who not only shows us the way, but empowers us to take that way through the gift of his Spirit. Shalom. Peace.